I think it's really important to have northern representation at the G8 and G20 summits. A lot of times when we talk about climate change, we talk about the impacts of climate change, climate justice, and the effects of climate change on vulnerable populations around the world. And I think a lot of times people in southern Canada, when they talk about these issues, they're thinking about people in Africa, in small island nations, and I think a lot of times they don't realize that people in Canada are being impacted by climate change right now. In the Arctic, we're already seeing the effects of climate change. There's a lot of places in the Northwest Territories where I'm from where the average temperatures have already risen beyond 2 degrees Celsius in the last 50 years. So we've seen quite a huge change up north. It's impacting people's ability to hunt and travel on the land, those types of traditional activities. But it's also impacting government operations, community governments, mining operations, basically every sector of the economy in the north. So we're already seeing climate change costing us millions of dollars a year, and these costs are only rising. So I think it's really important to have northern representation here at the G8 and G20 to get the message out there that climate change is having a real impact in Canada, not just in terms of Indigenous rights, human rights, people's safety, but economically as well. I'm from Fort Good Hope, Northwest Territories. My family still lives there. My uncle and my cousin make most of their money trapping still. So they go out in the fall and they spend most of the fall and most of the winter and spring out trapping. A couple of years ago, they were at their trap line up the Ramparts River in the mountains, and my uncle went through the ice in January on a creek, and that's unheard of in the Northwest Territories. This is a part of the world that legitimately should be about 40 degrees below zero continuously through January and February. To fall through the ice at that time of year it's a huge event, and it's dangerous, frankly. People have died like that, and we're hearing more and more stories about people in the eastern Arctic especially who are out in the middle of winter going through the sea ice, and that shouldn't happen. So these are the kind of impacts that people are facing up north, which aren't just you know, it's safety, it's human lives that are at risk.